Hey, meetup! Buddy Yates here with Mayor Sonny Bono in a top-secret location. Tech gadgets require more time to cover thoroughly, and so Dick and Chad really can't put those videos on the show. So I thought, oh, the meetup. I can send my video into the meetup and it won't have the time constraint that the show has. You guys aren't leaving until you've finished eating all of Dennis's food anyway. I wanted to tell you about a new gadget I found. It solved a really difficult problem for me. So I went on this long road trip recently, and I have a problem that neither Chad nor Dick have. Chad's Tesla's bristling with technology, and Dick doesn't own a car. So the Bluetooth speaker I brought wasn't loud enough to be heard over the road noise in my convertible. I cannot hear my phone for navigation. Years ago, I had a problem, and that was my car had a cassette and AM/FM radio. And if I wanted to listen to my CDs, I had to figure out some way to pump the CD music into the AM/FM radio. You can tell it's the 1980s because everybody drove around with Knight Rider lights on their cars. Until I discovered a gadget that is a little FM transmitter that you plug into your cigarette lighter, and it broadcasts over to your FM radio, and that worked pretty good. Now I have a CD player in the car, and I want to figure out how to play MP3s. Same problem. The moral of that story is, if you live long enough, you'll be solving the same problems over and over. I plugged in a portable CD player to it, and I could listen to my CDs, one CD at a time, you know, like it was back in the old days. So I went on Amazon, like I always do, and not only do they still make those things, there are literally hundreds of these things, different models with different features. Just search for Bluetooth FM transmitter. Use the knob to adjust the volume to increase the volume. I don't know. The one I chose has two USB charging ports. One is marked 3.1 amps and one is marked 1.0 amps. That the 1 amp port is for charging only and there's no data line, but it doesn't say anything like that about the 3 amp port. So I'm guessing it must send your data home to China. I wish I was kidding. And there's a button for making a phone call. And it has a micro SD slot. Do you have one of these? Then you probably have some MP3s floating around somewhere. All these tunes coming off of this teeny little card. And you stick it in your computer. Support format, WMA, APE, FLAC, WAV, and MP3. I bought multiple units. One manual specifically said that it would play APE and FLAC, which are two lossless formats. APE is a Microsoft lossless format. The other manual specifically avoided any mention of any lossless formats. So your mileage may vary. I did confirm that it does not play the Apple lossless format, ALF, which is what I have. It has A2MP Bluetooth, so that's the advanced Bluetooth. So it does stereo and it sounds good. Just a couple of years ago, you couldn't listen to music over Bluetooth. It simply didn't have the quality. But with the modern format, it sounds pretty good. And yes, they are naked. To judge the sound quality, I broadcast over to my home entertainment system. And I found out it sounded pretty good on those big speakers. Organizing 2,000 songs into a playlist is a chore, and it takes a lot of time. That's why you do it when you're at work and supposed to be working. Since I want albums and artists grouped together, I put a number or a letter in front of each song in the same album. For example, N in front of Norah Jones, Q in front of Queen, and DD in front of Dr. Demento. This is clearly anecdotal, but my 1,000 tunes takes up less than 12 gigabytes. And the best part for me is the display. So here we'll plug it in. Okay, and it tells you your battery voltage, which is kind of weird. Bluetooth. Is your car more than 5 years old? Then it probably does not understand Bluetooth at all. What is the square root of 81?
The square root of 81 is 9.
My old car now has Bluetooth and MP3 capability. And now the sat-nav, if I'm using Google Maps for directions. I don't usually gush about tech gadgets, but this one works really well. I thought it was so neat, I bought a couple more of them for Christmas presents. There always seems to be some fatal flaw. Interestingly, the manual gives specs, but it doesn't give the current. It tells you 12-volt input, but it doesn't tell you the current needed by the device. So why is this important? Well, if the device draws 2 or 3 amps of 12-volt power and there's no off switch, then it's gonna run your battery down pretty quick. We test the gadgets, so you don't have to. Typical car battery is 50 amp hours, being drained at 50 milliamps is 1,000 hours. However, that's 42 days, but you probably wouldn't be able to start your car after 21 days. I was told there would be no math. Just don't forget to remove it when you park. Very interesting, but stupid. So if you're just looking for something to connect your phone to your car audio system, this is just about a perfect gadget. So that's my review. It's a great item. It works really well. Don't pay more than $13 for it. And this is Buddy Yates from Palm Springs signing off. Lucy, you've got some splaining to do.